here, and we're recording for Child's Play 2019, the Fear and Broathing podcast. How
Hi.
are you, Joe?
I am, I'm kind of in shock, honestly. This movie,
Was a pile of shit.
yeah, it did something to me. I don't think I'll ever get back that, what was it, an hour and a half?
It was a while.
It felt like fucking forever. Like, I remember you kept checking the time, and you're like, we still
Yeah,
have fucking 45 minutes left. I'm like, 45 minutes?
yeah, it was rough, dude.
It was,
uh, so I'm gonna go ahead and preface this with I'm a huge fan of the Child's Play franchise, and this was not it. This sucked so bad, and I can understand why Brad Dourif and Don Mancini did not want to be a part of this at all.
me too.
They were. Hey,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
They were in the right for not wanting to touch this at all. I don't even know if they saw the script or anything, but they were just like from the get go, like, mm-mm, like don't put our fucking names on this.
Yeah, it
I, I'm
was.
I'm dishonored to know that you're even using my title.
It was it's embarrassing as fuck, dude. Like they try. Okay, so this is basically how it feels when modernization goes wrong. Because they tried to modernize the story, where they were like, "Oh, it's a story about a killer doll. Let's make him a fucking robot." When that's never been the point of the Child's Play series. The point of Child's Play is that the soul of a serial killer, Charles Lee Ray, so they chase him down. The cops are chasing him. He goes into a toy store, and then he uses voodoo practices from somebody that he got or that he learned voodoo from. He learned voodoo from somebody. It shows it in the movie, but he learned it, and then he uses those voodoo practices to transfer his soul into the body of a fucking doll. That is the reason why Charles Lee Ray, and he has the strength of Charles Lee Ray in the body of the good guy doll. That's the whole fucking point. Now, let's strip that shit away and let's make him a goddamn robot. And it's basically like an Apple product, essentially. Caslin Corporation is basically Apple, and then they fucking give us this. The acting from the fat kid in the goddamn movie, hate him.
Oh, Pug.
Yeah, fucking hate that kid. Everything that comes out, just the way his mouth moves. Like, and I'm not even talking about the goddamn robot yet. Like, I fucking hate him. I fucking
I
hate
hated
him.
him the second he had a faux hawk. I'm sorry to anyone out there who has a faux hawk.
I apologize if you're overweight. I'm also overweight. So,
I am too. We're all overweight. This is the Overweight Podcast. We are changing the name, rebranding.
I am a whopping 240 pounds. I shouldn't be.
I'm short, and my weight is like $2, something like that, 210. But
Yeah.
since I'm short, it kind of like whenever you take like a loaf of bread and you push on it and it starts like pushing out like that. That's pretty much what it is. I'm short and wide.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do.
I am a chode as a person.
I used to be a lot skinnier. I used to look like a. I used to look like a pole. I was really small.
I was tiny. I think we were both pretty tiny. Like I used to have a 6-pack whenever I was on like I think when I was 15. I had a 6-pack.
What the
I was
fuck?
always outside. Yeah, I was always outside. I was just running around. I had a little 6-pack.
I was just
Then
like
I had a kid.
I had very like girly hips when I was younger. Like I was like you could like I was all hips, and like I didn't have a beer gut yet, and I think really that's what it is. I don't even drink beer as much as I used to anymore. I think I just eat a lot.
Yeah, I've been trying to cut back on eating, but then like I won't eat when I get up. I really don't eat in the morning. I just don't feel like it until it gets to like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Then I'm starving, and I'll just fucking eat like a lot, and then I won't eat for the rest of the night, except for like maybe snacks every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I just like carbo load. I just ate fucking. Well, I didn't eat the bread off 2 of them, but 3 Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, I think that's like part of my diet too, where I'll just find something in the kitchen and be like, oh, that's it.
This is what I'm gonna get sick of today.
And that's how this movie makes me feel.
Yeah,
It makes
honestly.
me sick.
Okay, so one thing I did. Okay, I don't know if you guys know, I hate blood. It makes me really queasy. It makes me really sick. That's what queasy means, obviously. But every kill was in the dark. There was barely any lights, so there wasn't a lot of blood. So I was thankful for that. But for like actual horror movies, like for people who actually like horror movies, it's probably what they don't like about it, because all the kills are done in the dark.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw the kills kind of like you said, it was dark. I was paying attention to try to see like what's happening. One of the kills was very interesting. It was like he had this guy who was trying to like, okay, so spoiler, obviously we're spoiling, but that's what we do here on the Feared Berlin podcast. We do spoil movies, but this movie, steer fucking clear, because this movie sucks dick. No offense to anybody who sucks dick, because like if you suck dick, great. Like, man, woman, don't give a fuck.
Do what you want. Your mouth.
Do what
is
you
your
want.
mouth.
It's your mouth. But like this movie is fucking awful. Like there's and we're gonna say that probably plenty of times, but like
You're gonna get sick of it because we really hate this movie.
The big spoiler here is that it sucks. But yeah, there's a scene in here where Chucky gets like stabbed by. Yeah, so like Chucky gets stabbed. He's a fucking robot. Nobody gives a shit. Fuck off. Like that's not the. It pisses me off that they made him a fucking robot. First of all, it pisses me off that he's a robot to begin with. Like that's not the whole. Like, that's not the soul of this goddamn movie. The soul is that the soul gets transferred. God damn it. I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad.
Yeah, they did this. One thing I didn't like, too, was that a lot of the horror movies now, when they implement a robot, they also, every house, every store is a smart house or smart store. And they all, for some reason, use the same product. Like,
yeah.
If it was realistic, there would be a divide like there is now.
Oh yeah, like,
an iPhone.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Like not everywhere would be using Caslin products. It would be like Caslin and fucking Heredio or some.
That was pretty good. But yeah, no, there would be a divide, and then there would be so. Just the divide in general. Would there be like another doll? This would probably make it a more interesting movie if there was like 2 different companies. One was like the Apple company, and one was the Android company, and they both released different dolls on different days or on the same day, and then they were like fighting each other or something. I think that would be more entertaining.
Yeah, that would be better.
Honestly, here's
Chucky died.
Here's the best idea.
By another one.
Here's the best idea. This isn't a fucking Child's Play movie.
No, yeah. Take the name away.
Because this...
It doesn't even really look like Chucky. I mean, he's got red hair and freckles, but is that it?
This isn't a Child's Play movie. It fucking isn't. Like, it's garbage. It's fucking garbage is what it is.
They should just name it that. Aptly named garbage.
Yeah. It should just be called garbage.
This movie is trash.
Yeah, this is something that they've been doing for a while now, where they'll like grab an IP and they'll call something that I will okay. So the worst thing that they can do is like take the Cloverfield movies and then call this like the Cloverfield Paradox when it was supposed to be its own standalone movie, but then they just threw Cloverfield on it. They did that with the Cloverfield Paradox. I feel like they did the exact same thing with this movie. They were like, oh well, it's about this might have been a prototype for Megan. I'm gonna throw it out there, but it wasn't the same company that did Megan though, so maybe it fucking wasn't. It was just like this was just bad. It was just fuck because Megan was Blumhouse. I'm pretty sure that was the.
I think so.
And I think Braun also had their hand in Megan, but look, oh, that sounds awful. Yeah.
It was distributed by Universal Production Company, Blumhouse, Atomic Monster Productions, and Divide and Conquer.
Yeah. I was as a horror fan, I am so fucking mad. Like having watched that. This is actually like my second viewing of it. I was forced to watch it this time, but the first time I did it on my own volition, and it was the worst experience of my life because I love Child's Play, and I love well, okay, I don't like Seed of Chucky. Seed of Chucky there was comedy, kind of.
kind of.
It was trying to be funny when Chucky the Child's Play series already has its own comedy and Brad Dourif's one-liners. So if you like Child's Play, you know that Brad Dourif is a very, very good voice actor. He's just an actor in general. He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in that. Yeah, he got like an Oscar for that shit. Yeah, he was.
Oh shit! I don't know how to spell his name.
Brad Douriff. I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, shit! I didn't know he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo. Who was he?
I don't remember his name in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but
I'm looking. He was in a Calvin Harris music video.
huh.
Weird.
But yeah, dude, that fuck. The first kill of this movie is a cat. That's another thing that pisses me off. But like, it's just like,
How did they do that?
oh, the cat kind of scratches Andy's arm. But to be fair, Andy was being a cunt. So
He was.
that's another thing. That's another difference that I fucking loathed, is that the Andy from the original was this sweet, innocent kid who wanted a good guy doll. So his mom buys him a good guy doll, and she brings it home, and she's like, here, I got this. But she had to like get it from a scalper because they were all sold out. She buys Chucky from a scalper and then pays extra to make sure, because she's got the money for it, because she's well off. And then she buys this doll for her son who really wants it. She's a good fucking mom, right? I don't think Aubrey Plaza is a shitty mom in this movie. But like in the original, so the girl from Seventh Heaven, I can't remember the name in the movie. She's the mom in Seventh Heaven. She is, she's like a very caring, compassionate mother who works all day, but whenever she comes home, she's really good with her son. So she really wants him to be happy this holiday season. So she buys him the good guy doll, turns out she buys the exact same doll that Brad Dourif. It was actually Brad Dourif in the flesh that's on the police chase, right? He's running from the cops. He goes into the toy store. He transfers his soul into this doll. It's the exact same doll that that the scalper picks up and sells to Andy's mother. So he unwraps it, he plays with it, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play?" And this one is like, "Let's sing a fucking song."
Mm-hmm. Trying too hard to be it. I feel like the song was supposed to be creepy but funny at the same time, and it was neither. It was just annoying. I feel like people like they try. It's another trope that they put in horror movies, is they do songs, but they do them kind of off, to where they kind of like detuned a little bit to make it sound creepy.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of annoying.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's what they did with the song, and then they kept like glitching him out because he's a fucking robot. If your robot is glitching like that, you need to figure it the fuck out, because
Yeah.
like if my computer right now is glitching, I'd be like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on?
Not like it's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, they kind of like try to pass it off as like Aubrey Plaza is like, yeah, I mean, it's refurbished, so it may not work the way you want it to. But that isn't.
It wasn't refurbished. It was returned.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's just what she said. But it's just, I don't know. I'm very frustrated that they thought this was a good idea.
Yeah. I'd say it's a cash grab. They just take a well-known title, kind of like what just came out recently. Is it Maverick, Top Gun?
Oh, well, Top Gun was like Maverick. Top Gun was actually a pretty high-rated movie. People actually enjoyed it.
No shit.
Uh-huh.
See, I didn't watch it. I'm not big on Top Gun. The only thing I remember from Top Gun is the original one. And,
The volleyball scene. Oh yeah.
It haunts my dreams.
And then the Berlin song, the "It's the motion, really make me feel. Take my breath away."
Take my breath away.
Yeah.
What was the song that they're playing during the fucking the volleyball scene? Playing with the boys. I'm pretty sure that's
Playing with the boys.
Playing with the boys.
Was that also Berlin?
Let's see. Kenny Loggins.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a cash grab for sure. Like they didn't really care about and I can't really get mad at the people who are in it because obviously they got paid pretty well.
I like Aubrey Plaza for the most part. I just think she is typecast and she just didn't do anything different. She never does anything different. She was in a movie called Life After Beth. I enjoyed that movie. I just don't feel like she does anything new. I think she just plays the same character over and over.
Very one
and
note.
over. Yeah. Parks and Rec. She played the same fucking character. Like,
I think that's what really started her character. Was
yeah.
Parks and Rec. I'm trying to see what else she's been in. Dirty Grandpa, she was the same.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
I watched it one day. There's a lot of movies that I watched. Whenever we used to have DirecTV, I just flip through and find random movies to watch.
Yeah.
And she Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. She was the same character.
Who the fuck was she in that?
You don't remember? She was Julie Powers. She was the barista. She would be like, "What do you fucking want?" And her mouth would like censor. And he's like, "How are you doing that?" He's like, "Never fucking mind how I'm doing it."
Yeah.
And she was the same in that. Yeah, she's definitely typecasted, which She was in Monsters University. I bet she was the
Yeah.
same person. It just sucks because like you want to see when people get typecasted, you want to see them do other roles where they kind of expand. Like I think a really good one is Adam Sandler. He's typecasted as him. Like if you know Adam Sandler, you know
I feel like
what
he
I'm talking about.
typecast himself as
He
that though.
does,
Like,
but then he does movies like fucking Uncut Gems where he's like
yeah,
way out there.
yeah, and you're like, holy shit, like, and he deserved, dude. Adam Sandler deserved an Oscar for Uncut Gems. I don't give a fuck
Oh
what anybody says. Like, at least like Best Actor. I don't give a fuck if it got Best Picture. I wanted him to get Best Actor for that, and he didn't even get nominated. Like,
it's because the name.
it's because he's Adam Sandler, and the movies that he's made prior to that year have all been dog shit. So they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Adam Sandler's in this. Let's skip that."
It makes me wonder. Like I want to check out more of his dramas.
They're
Like the
good.
Meyerowitz fam. Like I want to check them out. Like the
The
Meyerowitz
Meyerowitz
story.
stories, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
or is
that's
it
any good?
the Meyerowitz Chronicles? I thought that's what it was called. Or is it
That's
Stories? Stories.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he's good in Punch Drunk Love. That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, I heard he was really
Uh,
good in that.
I enjoy Spanglish even. Like Spanglish was good.
Oh, I forgot about Spanglish.
Yeah. So
I think we
like,
had that movie. I just never watched it.
but Aubrey Plaza is not Adam Sandler. Like I feel like Adam Sandler actually, because they're both good. It's just Aubrey Plaza's never had that role where she's just like, I am gonna break from the norm and do something completely different. She's always just been this. She's been April Ludgate. That's it. That's her fucking. That's her existence. That's her entire fucking existence as an actress. And maybe it's not even just I'm April Ludgate. It's just I am Aubrey Plaza,
Yeah.
and this is what you're gonna get from me. Like, that's not okay. Like, as an actor, you have to like explore different avenues. If people don't like it, fuck, that sucks. Try again.
I mean,
Adam Sandler has a whole career built on if people don't like it, I'll try again. But he just keeps trying the same thing over and over. And it's like, well, nobody likes it, but I did make a dickload of money on it.
yeah.
Grown Ups 1 and 2, I'm looking at you. Like, people were buying into his same act throughout the entirety of the 90s. People bought into that shit. We got The Water Boy. We got Billy Madison. We got... Well, okay, hold on. I fucking love Happy Gilmore. That movie doesn't count.
Classic.
Yeah, that movie doesn't count. But we got The Water Boy. We got Billy Madison. We got fucking Little Nicky. We got all these really bad comedies, right? All from the same brain.
I think because people don't because of those movies. And I think this is what you're saying. Because of those movies, people don't want to check out Uncut Gems and give him a shot
That's
because they
just,
think it's just going to be him like.
it kind of is. But, like, he's still incredibly good at it. He still has, like, a weird, like, voice to him. Like, he's putting on...
Fake teeth, yeah.
He's putting on a voice. But, like... Because, like, have you ever heard him talk serious in a movie where he's like Big Daddy? Like, most of Big Daddy, when he's talking like Adam Sandler. I love Big Daddy. It's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies of all time.
It's a classic too.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like, you were fucking normal yesterday. Like, that's Adam Sandler. And then, like, in Uncut Gems, which I love Uncut Gems, I still think it's the best Adam Sandler movie ever made. It's a Safdie brothers movie, though. The Safdies are fucking phenomenal. They're really good at directing and getting the most out of their talent. I really thoroughly believe that. It's A24 movie. A24 gets the best out of their fucking talent whenever they have an actor on the screen. They just got a fucking Oscar win for fucking, maybe it's not an Oscar win, but it was like Golden Globes or something. They won an award. Brendan Fraser has not been relevant in a long time. And they pulled that motherfucker out of obscurity for Whale. Like,
I didn't know they did that.
like it just, like, they're taking these people, and that's probably what they did with Adam Sandler. They were like, hey, do you want to be in this movie? That's probably gonna be like, I don't know, a resurrection for your shitty career. And he was like, oh yeah, let's do that. And they did the same thing with Brendan Fraser. Like, they're like, hey, you want to be in this movie called The Whale? And he was like, well, I am fat now. Isn't that like pretty fucking mean? He's like, yeah, but it's going to be like a drama and people are going to cry at this movie. And they were like, he was like, okay, yeah, if it means that people think I'm a good actor again. And then he delivers a performance that fucking breaks people, like, in a good way. Yeah, like,
I haven't seen it, but I saw the scene where, what was it? It's all in his house. I know that, or his an apartment. I think it's like close. No, not an actual whale movie.
But like the entirety of Uncut Gems is like, fuck, man. Like it's just panic inducing, and that
it is.
That takes brilliance, and that is what this movie, Child's Play. Child's Play is not an original idea. They take an IP, an intellectual property, and then they fucking try to put it in the ground. They try to put this in the ground because what? Maybe they couldn't come up with it themselves. They had to take Don Mancini's brilliant idea from the 80s and then just try to fucking bury it because they couldn't think of it. It's bullshit.
Pretty much what they did.
And then he came out with the series, which like, honestly, if the series doesn't save it, which honestly it's not bad. Like, Don Mancini wrote the series. I love that Don Mancini. I keep saying Chini and Cini. I do apologize for that. Hold on. I think I said that earlier. Usually we don't talk to the chat but like they were like, I think this was to kickstart Megan. I thought this was a prototype for Megan. I really did. But
I was seeing a lot of similarities for sure.
But then you look at Megan, and like, Megan is a complete movie. If you don't like it, that's fine. But it is cohesive, and it's good for what it is. Like, it's not a bad movie. Was it horror? Kinda. Was it
thriller?
Was it comedy? Absolutely. That movie was hilarious. I think it was supposed to be hilarious. And Megan, I thought, was good. I think it was just done by Blumhouse. I think it was done maybe by Braun. I think Braun was the other production company behind it.
It was Blumhouse. It was Atomic Monster and Divide Conquer.
Okay. So Braun wasn't a part of it.
No. Braun was Child's Play, though, wasn't it?
Braun was Child's Play, and I think there was, I don't know what the other production company was.
It doesn't even
Orion, because we made fun of it.
Orion.
Because we were like, wasn't Orion the fucking company that was doing after-school specials in the 90s? Like, late 80s, early 90s? They were like, you need to stop smoking because it's bad for you and it killed my dad. And then, it's just fucking awful. Like, fucking Orion always had, like, the worst type of shit.
They did, I guess, no, they didn't do Pulp Fiction, did they?
Orion? No. No
I
way.
didn't think so. I looked up the movies they did, and IMDb said Pulp Fiction, Silence of the Lambs, Terminator, Women Talking, Excalibur, Dances with Wolves, Amadeus. Amadeus was a fantastic movie. I don't know if they fucking did the.
Amadeus.
Yeah, it's about Amadeus, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and
Oh, they did Platoon.
Antonio Salieri.
Oh, Ryan did Platoon. That's a good movie. God damn
Is
it.
that?
I thought it was like after school special shit. It did RoboCop.
Robert Kopp?
It did Robert Cop.
I need to watch Amadeus again. That was such a good fucking.
It did Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It did that as well. Silence of the Lambs. Maybe Orion doesn't suck. Man, I thought it was like one of those like production companies that did like after school specials. Maybe I'm thinking of something completely different.
I was confused because like when I looked it up, I saw like Pulp Fiction and all that, but I thought Pulp Fiction was done through what was the old like indie film production company made by like a larger film company. It was Miramax.
Miramax, okay.
I
Yeah,
thought Miramax
they did like Good Will Hunting. They basically kickstarted Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's career, and the one who's better at acting is Matt Damon.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, we got this guy, but then we also have to bring his friend.
He's like, can my friend come? They're like, yeah, I guess.
And then you find out that that Ben Affleck's actually a better writer than Matt Damon. So, like, it takes him having to act and shit for people to be like, this guy sucks. And then he writes Argo, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll shut the fuck up now.
He sucks on camera,
Yeah,
but not behind the camera.
exactly. Yeah, and he found his calling in Hollywood. He was like, all right, well, Matt Damon, my best friend, my brother, he's really good in front of the camera. Matt Damon's good behind the camera too, but he's no Ben Affleck behind the camera. But
Sorry about all the trash. But you're good. If you wouldn't mind watching both of those.
it's just we're rambling again about like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, but this has nothing to do with Child's Play. Oh my god!
This movie was just so bad, and
here's
I don't want to talk about it, but I know we have to.
Here's the rundown. Is that a cat dies first, and then they're like, oh shit, the cat died, and then he's like, oh, I think it was the doll. Let's try to dismantle this doll. Oh no, he kills the boyfriend too. Before they were like, he murdered somebody. They don't even give a shit about They don't even give a shit about the cat anymore. Like,
They're like, oh well, a cat's a cat, but a person's a person.
yeah, it's bullshit. So it's like, so they're like, all right, and the guy, the boyfriend, he was a fucking dickhead to begin with. But again, that's the movie telling me, hey, this guy is a piece of shit. He deserves to die. And then, so he dies. He like gets in the kid's face. He's like, "We gonna talk shit to me, you little piece of shit? You gonna say something to my face, or you just gonna keep sitting this doll to talk shit to me?" The doll was just doing it.
Yeah. He's getting all tough, like in front of like a 11-year-old kid.
Yeah, like
what you gonna fucking 11-year-old fucker?
What are you gonna do? Fight a fucking 11-year-old? No.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
He would have. Like, say something. Kid's like, you're a prick. But say it again.
Yeah, and that's basically what happened. Except for like he didn't swing on the kid. He was just like, "Oh, you're gonna talk shit?" Yeah, that's what I thought. And the whole time, Chucky is. I feel bad even calling him Chucky because this is not This is not Chucky, dude. This is.
No, it's some imposter.
It's a robot.
In a Chucky costume.
It's a robot.
It is. This is iRobot, but without Will Smith.
Because I guarantee Brad Dourif wouldn't. Well, no, he would. So if this was like Brad Dourif Chucky, he would only care about Andy because of his body. He doesn't give a fuck if Andy gets hurt. He just gives a shit that the body is still functional. Right? Because that's what he's trying to transfer his soul into. Is Andy's body. So he can get out of the doll body. That's the whole...
Okay.
That's the whole point of the first Child's Play, by the way, is that it didn't matter which child or which person he stumbled upon. He was going to try to figure out how to get into that body. And he just happened to land in the lap of Andy Barclay. This movie makes no goddamn sense. It's like, okay, yeah, so we have this product that's gonna learn everything, and no, it's iRobot. This movie is iRobot, but shittier.
iRobot without Will Smith.
Which probably makes it shittier.
Yeah.
Honestly, iRobot wasn't a bad movie, and the fact that he was trying to... The appeal of iRobot to me was that Will Smith was trying to... Because, yes, Sonny the Robot murdered his creator. But he was asked by his creator to murder him, but he also had to go through security steps to cancel the part of Sonny's brain that was created to strip him of that, like, hey, I don't want to kill. Like, so, like, yeah, Sonny was a rogue robot, but he still had empathy and feelings.
Yeah.
But it was like, that movie's so good. God damn it. Like, it's not the best movie in the world.
Are y'all talking about iRobot?
Yeah, well, we're talking about Child's Play because this
Nice.
movie fucking sucks. So, like, Child's Play was just like a robot Chucky when the whole... This is the 2019 version, and the whole point of Child's Play in the first fucking place is that the soul of a serial killer gets transferred into a body by the serial killer himself because he knows voodoo shit. Like, they missed the mark completely. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. Don't take somebody else's IP if you don't know what the fuck you're gonna do with it. I'm so mad.
I think this one is gonna be titled "Sean Goes on a Rant About."
And it was going to be. It was fucking going to be. Because I love Child's Play. I love the original franchise, or I love the franchise. And, like, Don Mancini and everybody involved, he makes it a family effort, like I was saying before we started recording. Like, in all of the Child's Play movies, the crew is the same. In every decade that they have made a Child's Play movie with Don Mancini, it has been the same crew. And, yeah, they have added, like, different people to, like, act in them and stuff, but they just become a part of the family. That's a brilliant way to make a franchise. Like, the crew doesn't change much. They're like, oh, well, we've got this guy to work on the animatronics for Chucky. Yeah, Chucky is a fucking robot, but they don't have to make a movie where he's a fucking robot. Like, the actual doll itself is animatronic, and they, like, made him move and shit that way.
Yeah.
The fucking Buddy doll? Like, what happened to Good Guy? What happened to Good Guy?
You know what I don't understand, and I didn't realize it until I'm reading it now. Why did he refer to himself as Chucky? Like, he tried to name him
His
Han
name
Solo.
is Charles Lee Ray.
No, the doll in this one. Because there was no. He was just like
fucking name recognition. I don't know, but like
what it is. But like in the plot, like
yeah,
it doesn't
there's
make
no
any
reason.
sense.
There's no reason for him to be named Chucky in the movie, in this specific movie, because there's no fucking reason for it, because he doesn't get transferred from Charles Lee. He's not Charles Lee Ray. He's not. It's a fucking robot.
That's what's fucking stupid about it, is he's just like, I'm naming you Han Solo, and he's like, nah, I want to be called Chucky. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? And then whenever the kid names him Chode later on down the line,
That's hilarious.
That
was my favorite part. He was like, I named him Chode. Like,
but like he doesn't like call himself Chucky. Like, obviously because he's probably trying to blend in, but still, like,
yeah.
It's just weird.
Like, he's like, oh, well, he was gonna name him Han Solo, right? That's what he said. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm Chucky. Like, yeah, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Because he's not a serial killer in a doll's body. He's a fucking robot.
He's a robot that got programmed. He got all of his like inhibitors taken out. So he just
from one disgruntled employee of the what was the company called? Fucking Kaslan. Yeah, one disgruntled Kaslan employee. He gets first of all, this is fucked up in 2019, because if somebody came and slapped me in the fucking face, I'd be throwing hands so fucking fast, and then they'd have a lawsuit on their fucking hands. Because if that dude came and slapped me in the face and said, you're making this toy incorrectly, I'd beat the shit out of that dude. Like, and then there'd be a lawsuit, probably from them, because they're like, this employee hit me. It was like, they put their hands on me first. And there'd be a whole thing.
Face.
Yeah.
He could just tap me on the shoulder like, hey, you gotta get back to work. Not just come up and...
And then he threatened to hit him again.
It's fucking ridiculous.
He fucking swung on this dude. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, he was like, hey, you're fucking up with that toy. He smacks him in the face, and then he, like, threatens to hit him again. Like, and he's like, oh, shit. Like, fuck that dude. Like, your work, I'm assuming this is an American company. Even in, like, different companies, like, in, like, different countries, I'm sure if somebody puts their hands on you, you can be like, no, fuck you. I'm walking out. Like, at the very least, walk the fuck out. Because you don't deserve that shit. No, there's not a single goddamn employee that deserves that abuse. I'm sorry. I was like getting tongue tied, but yeah, there's not a single goddamn employee that deserves that kind of abuse. So I would have either walked out. I probably would have punched him, but
I would have yelled at him and walked out.
I mean, I did have an employer once who was like getting in my face, and I was like, go fuck yourself. And then I got fired the next day. But that was at Steak and Shake. He like got in my face because I was on my phone for like 30 seconds instead of making the one fucking milkshake that was on the screen. He was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And he got in my face, and I was like, go fuck yourself. Like, and then they fired me the next day. So,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I had to work with him for a little bit after that.
I had to.
I did. Like, after Big Lots, I think I went from Big Lots, I think I worked at Steak and Shake for like,
I think it was the other way around, man. Like, because you got me hired at Big Lots.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steak and Shake for like a month.
And that's when we started living together, and then I was only getting 4 hours a week.
Yeah, they fucked you royally.
And then, like,
all the hours.
Yeah, which was great because we lived together at the time. So like,
yeah, we were able to make rent, but it's still fucking. It was bullshit. Like,
yeah,
you weren't doing anything wrong. Like,
yeah.
What's stupid is that, like,
they put me in the back room by myself, dude. Like, they were like, "Hey, go move all these mattresses by yourself." king size mattresses, queen size mattresses, do all this shit by yourself. And I went, I can't physically do this. And they were like, what? And I was like, I can't physically do it.
Because like whenever we'd go back there, it'd be like it wouldn't be one, it'd be two of us at least to move these things.
They didn't like me from the beginning. Like,
I don't know why. Like
Gary
when I went in there.
It was Gary Hippopotamus. If you're watching this shit, Gary Hippopotamus, fuck you. His name was Gary Hieronymus. He just happened to be a big fat guy, and he was an asshole, so it's fine to call him a hippopotamus, the piece of shit.
He was a racist too.
Yeah, a fucking racist asshole.
He was creepy. Like I remember he would only hire girls, young girls to begin with. But he also anytime a girl would come in and I was like standing
Oh, that's why he hired Ruby.
Oh yeah. Ruby and Jessica. I don't remember the other ones. Those are the newer ones that I remember are those two.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit. Just
yeah,
and
he got fired. I'm pretty sure.
I think like in his, I think in the interview I had with him, he was like, I really liked your resume, and I liked all this stuff that you wrote in here. I was like, cool, because that's what I would hope that you would hire me for, because I did that for a reason.
I didn't do all that just to get in your pants, you know.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to make some fucking money.
But like the thing is, like when I was working there, I would hardly work.
We fucked around a lot, and then I got blamed for all of it because they didn't like me.
Like, and the thing is, like, I would purposely do bad on the aisles so that Gary would come up and show me how it's done, but then just do the entire aisle for me.
Dude,
and I was like, I would do that all the time.
You gave me that. You were like, dude, just do this. And then when I was fucking up on the aisles, just to make sure somebody would like come and do it for me, they were like, all right, take everything off the aisle, paint they were like, all right, we got 10 aisles that you need to take everything off of them, paint them, and then when that shit dries, put everything back. I need 10 aisles done in about, what time do you get off? 2 hours? Yeah, do that in 2 hours. I was like, fuck that. I did
so they made you paint?
Yeah, they made me paint the fucking, like, the shelves. They made me paint the fucking shelves. They were like, I need 10 aisles done in 2 hours. That's impossible. And then most of the shit that they were like, oh yeah, part of it is the gardening aisle. I need you to take all this soil down. It's like, what the fuck are... And I'm just like, okay, here's the jobs that they had me do at Big Lots in order. They made me do truck by myself, which was taking all these mattresses out. They were taking like all this heavy shit, and they were like, all right, those king size mattresses, they go on the top shelf. And there was like 13 of them. King size mattresses. And I'm like 160 pounds at this point in my life. Like, I'm not strong. And they're like, do this shit. And I'm like, I can't. I fucking can't.
Oh, you can't. No, I fucking can't.
And then eventually, like, Ruby came back to help me and was like, hey, yeah, that's fucked that they're doing that. And then, like, yeah, she just helps me put the shit up. And then I'm like, all right, thank you so much for that. That was my whole shift, was getting help after 2 hours of me struggling. I was doing it, though. Like, I had like 4 or 5 of those mattresses up by myself. I was gonna die. I was gonna pass out. But I did it.
I just want to see their face when they walk back there and see it's all done, not knowing Ruby came back to help. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think you'd get it done.
Yeah, I think they wanted me to quit. And I did, eventually. But
that's why they're only giving... They told me that they don't really fire people. I remember whenever they fired me, Gary was crying. It was very... they were like, after I finished my shift, and that's when they fired me. They got one last day of work out of me. For not showing up. They didn't get on me because I don't think they knew that I was stealing food. Because like I didn't have the money to eat, so I just take food off the shelf and throw it in the trash, pretty much. I wasn't being that careful. I would just take it and eat it. But they would like so they got that one day out of me, and I remember right before I got called over there. Previously they had said something like they said one more day that you're late and we have to let you go, and I was late, and I was in the back talking to a couple of my coworkers and like, yeah, they haven't said anything, so I think I'm good. And then they called me back and I got fired. But Gary's like, he's like crying. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
This wasn't long after I had quit either. So it was like, but I had already gotten a job at Casey's, so it was like, I just didn't show up again. Didn't they like question if I was ever coming back?
I think so, and I was just like, I don't know.
You're like, fuck, I don't know. He's his own person.
I was about to say, like, I don't know. He stays in his room a lot of the time. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they did know we lived together. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, is Sean ever coming back? No, he got a better job.
No, he quit because you guys wanted him to quit.
I remember, like at one point, like I think that old lady that worked there, Lisa, was that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, she came into Casey's, is like, I would like to, and then she saw me and she went, and then I was like, no, I'm way better at this. And then she was like, okay, well, I would like a pepperoni pizza, please. And I was like, all right, everybody get the fuck out of my way. I'm making this shit. And she was like, oh. She was like stressed out. And like, I gave her a lot of pepperoni on that pizza. And she was like, it's like, how do you fuck up a pizza? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I was way better at Casey's than I was at Big Lots. I didn't give a fuck about Big Lots. I actually really enjoyed working at Casey's. It was like, I mean, granted, like, it was like, we made our own dough and shit, and then we, like, tossed the pizza in the air and all that stuff. But, like, how do you fuck that up? Like...
Yeah. No, pizza's super easy to make.
Yeah.
But it's... People still fuck it up.
Oh, yeah. I know.
They don't put enough sauce, enough...
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, I know. I fucking know.
I remember Austin Davis. That little piece of shit.
I remember that name.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was the kid who was like, "I raped my sister." Like that.
Jesus Christ!
Like he would just say that shit. He would just say shit like that. Like
oh.
Like it didn't fucking matter. Like we weren't gonna go. What the fuck did you just say? Like
yeah. Like you'd be like, huh, that's funny. Please speak into my collar.
It's like what? It's just like, wait. It took us all a second to like catch on because we were just all like we were all just like doing our jobs, and he was just
trying
like
to tune him out.
And because he would just keep talking about shit, and we didn't care. And then he says this, and I think it's to get our attention, and I hope he didn't actually do it, but that's a fucked up thing to say.
Yeah.
So we were all just like, what? Like, and it was, and
you know, I hope you guys all looked up at the same time, like.
Yeah, we all turned to him and we were like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, and that's why I'm not in the military. Because because he was like adamant. He was like, I'm going to be in the military. And we were like, dude, you can't even do the fucking dishes. Like, it's like they're going to ruin you they're going to ruin you in the military. You can't do the fucking dishes? Like, it's like...
no, you're not in the military. You're not in the military because of that. You're not in the military because you're an incompetent piece of shit.
First he said he didn't get in because he had athlete's foot. I was like, I'm pretty sure the military is where you get athlete's foot. Like,
They just, oh my god, he's got athlete's foot. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Just
But-
go, go, go.
but this dude's like, yeah, that's why I didn't get in the first time. It's like, are you sure it wasn't because you failed something? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure they need you to be at, like, some kind of physical condition. Like,
Something.
and
Well, no, I mean, like, I
Maybe
see,
you
I see
didn't-
like, bigger people going in there, like...
maybe you didn't pass the fucking test that you... I don't know. I've never fucking tried.
No, me
But-
either. But, like... Yeah, no, it was definitely probably because they, like, ran a background check on it. Like, this dude's fucking... We don't want this guy anywhere near a gun.
Yeah. And then he just like makes he was just like a compulsive liar. That was his whole MO. He was just constantly lying about everything. And I don't doubt that the whole like raping of his sister, like that was a lie. But honestly, at this point, I don't know. Cause like he was such a fucking weirdo. Like he would like hit on Jeremy all the time. Like Jeremy would be on the ladder. Like I just think he was just like I don't even know how to explain it. There was something wrong with him.
Was he, like, actually hitting on Jeremy, or was it more like he was trying to jokingly hit on Jeremy and just came off?
It wasn't even I don't think so. I think he may have been trying to joke about hitting on Jeremy. I would joke about hitting on Jeremy all the time. But like,
I do that too, but like me and you do that back and forth.
yeah.
But it's like if you don't know somebody that well and you try to do it, it comes off as weird because obviously.
But like, I don't know, because like he would climb a ladder and like Jeremy would look down and be like, "What the fuck do you want?" And he's like, "You know what I want," and he's just like, "What?"
Yeah, that's
But
fucking weird.
but he would like, and this is not like a bad thing, like, but like he like came out to me as gay, and I was like, "Okay, man, that's cool." He was like, "That's cool." I was like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit." Like, and he was like, and then he just made it consistently weird that I knew about it, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" Like,
what do you mean?
like
What would you do?
he would just be like, he would just like say shit like, he would just say like really weird shit to me, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?" Like, and I was like, I thought you were just gonna come out to me, man. I don't think like that's I mean, and then he would be like, then he eventually told the rest of the staff, and they were like, "Yeah, that's." He was like, "What if I told you guys I was gay?" And we were like, "Yeah, that makes sense." Like, like
Yeah, that's cool.
it's like, that's fine, dude. Like, nobody gives a shit. It's at this point it was like 2016, something like that. Like, nobody gave a fuck. Well, I mean, people gave a fuck, but like the wrong type of people. But like everybody that I worked with was like, I don't give a shit. Like,
Just make the pizza.
yeah, it's like we're here to do. We're here to put cheese on bread, dude. Like,
I feel like if you guys knew if you guys knew each other on a more personal level, like if you worked there a lot longer, it would have, and you got he was actually not a weirdo.
yeah.
It would have been a totally different. Everyone like, oh sweet, like hell yeah, dude, like.
Eventually, at one point, it was me and Austin were the two people who have been in that kitchen the longest. Me being there the longest, and then Austin had come in like a couple months later, and then other people started like quitting, and then we started getting other people in, and so eventually it was like me and Austin were like the veterans of that kitchen, but Austin couldn't do basic shit, like, and I was teaching everybody else how to do things, and they were picking it up way faster than him. I was like, what are you doing? Like, this job's super easy. Like, what?
How do you still have a job after all that though? Like,
Yeah, after like a year of him being there, people who were there for like 3 months, not even that, were like already making donuts and shit on third shift. they would like work with me on night shifts to get used to making pizzas, and then they would get to work with Mikey and make fucking donuts. Like it was stupid, but like anyway, I digress. We talked about Casey's for a while.
As
I
it
guess
happens on the podcast.
we'll spend the next 30 minutes, I believe, discussing. I honestly I don't even know what to say about this fucking movie other than
Basically, a doll comes to life, kills a cat. The kid gets reasonably perturbed. I think that's the word, perturbed.
yeah.
He tries to keep it a secret. He's like, this is fucked. This is a fucked thing that you did, but we're gonna keep it between us. Capiche? And he fucking he gets into a fight with his not really stepdad, his mom's boyfriend. And
Yeah,
he's
and
just
then,
like,
and then he gets
"I don't even want
he gets
me."
murdered in kind of a cool way, but it's also like really stupid. So
Yeah.
there's these Christmas lights. Chucky wraps him up in these Christmas lights, and then there is a what is it called? It's not like a lawnmower, is it? It's like a
I couldn't tell. It had blades on it. That's all
Yeah.
I knew. Was it a tiller?
yeah. I think a tiller is in a lawnmower, but it's just like that's what is used to cut the grass.
Rototillers, and maybe the rototiller, but these aren't electric. These are push.
Yeah.
I mean, they're electric, but they're not like uh,
It was
sitting
kind,
lawnmowers.
yeah, it was kind of like a push mower, but it was being like
Yeah.
controlled by. How was it running on its own if it was a fucking push mower?
Well, I mean,
Doesn't
like
make sense.
it must have been a
Like
I'm
Caslin,
I'm blanking on the.
Caslin, or
Oh, probably.
yeah, it was probably because everybody was running under this fucking company's like every part of this movie was under this company's thumb. It was like a Spider-Man movie. It was like everything is run by Sony, but in this case, it's Caslin.
It could
So
have been like some weird riding mower that was
electric or
like
run
self-driving or
by
something.
yeah. So I guess
I mean, like lawnmowers, like riding lawnmowers will move, like a car. Like if you don't have the brake and it's in drive, they will move a little bit.
yeah.
But I don't think. Let me bring that back up. Like the blades are pretty far back in there. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. That's not a lawnmower. That's a trimmer. It's a Manscaped. Okay. That's weird.
I've never used Manscaped, but I've heard good things.
I want to try. I think I've got like an off-brand of it in the bathroom.
Yeah, I just use like Revlon and just shave my face and other areas with it.
Armpits.
Yeah, my armpit. I don't give a fuck. Like it's my junk. Like if my junk is gonna be in anybody's face, it better be in mine.
I think MK might have some words about that. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so yeah, it is a tiller. Lights wrapped up around him. Chucky gets a tiller and turns it on. Okay. They don't have like riding. They don't. Have, so it must have been like a Caslin like self-tilling machine.
I just don't know how the cord didn't like get the tiller like all like you're vacuuming shit and you like
Yeah.
vacuum like a cord and it like stops the vacuum for a second. You have to pull the like cord or fuzz out of the vacuum. Is that I mean, I guess it could shred it. Oh, maybe it did. Maybe it shredded it instead.
It could have.
But it ended
I
up
think they could have done that whole scene without the lights. I think the lights were only there to
Provide
sack
lights.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Because like,
That's probably why they didn't go out either. Whenever they're getting
yeah, which is such a lazy thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the lights should have, like, because it's ripping the cords. There shouldn't be any lights anymore. It's also breaking the lights, so they should probably be going out while it's running it over. It doesn't make sense that the lights stay on the entire fucking time.
See, if he was wrapped up in the lights and because like his head got hit, not like he was crawling away from the tiller, and then Chucky to like pull him over or something, or like switch him around.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense either. Nothing about this scene makes sense. First of all, the lights are still on. Second of all, he's ripping up the cord. That should have already immediately turned the lights off. He's chasing him with the tiller. His feet are facing the tiller. How does his head get run over first?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. If they did it to where he fell, and the phone was towards the house instead of away from the house, and he's crawling towards it then, and trying to like if the tiller was coming this way, and he was crawling this way, and the phone was right in the middle, and he's trying to get to it, that would have made sense. And they could have still had the lights on.
Yeah. Dumb fucking movie. It's a dumb fucking movie.
Yeah, it is. Very fucking stupid.
Oh, and also, after this happens, his head, like, just miraculously shows up. Well, I mean, we know it's Chucky, but like, if he ran over his head with the mower, the tiller, or whatever, how's it intact whenever he puts it on his desk?
Because like, it shows a scene. So like, whenever the rototiller goes over his head, he's going and his fucking scalp goes flying onto a gnome. And later on, like in the next scene, like after the cops show up and everything, you see his face because they were watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they were for some reason all laughing. But the face was still intact and everything. It's put on a melon. Like that wouldn't happen if he got rototilled and his scalp went flying. First off, the scalp was still there.
Yeah.
It
flew off and landed on a gnome. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. I think it's because he got scared of the gnome and it's kind of like oh, now it's got his head.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. The only death in this that made sense for, like, kind of, was the creepy electrician Gabe.
Not even then, because, like, he, the way he died was, like, he was gonna cut, because, okay, the children, they're like, oh, he killed my mom's boyfriend. He killed my mom's boyfriend. We need to do something about this. This is after he wrapped the head up in wrapping paper and gave it to the next door neighbor, and it was like, oh yeah, she always helps me with my homework, so I made her a present, and I'm gonna go and give her this present. And then Aubrey Plaza's like, oh, a present for the next door neighbor. Cool, let's go give it to her, and I'll be there with you. And then he's like, no. Yeah.
No.
And so they do it, and he's like, but you have to open it on my birthday. Or else it won't be special for either of us anymore. So you have to do that. You have to open it on my birthday. And then she's like, okay, that's fine. Let's do that. So she puts it on her mantle. That's a human head, by the way. I almost wish there was a scene where she opened that shit. And I was like,
Yeah. But then he couldn't use the garbage chute like he had always done.
Yeah, like,
puts the cat down the garbage chute. He eventually gets the head back and puts it down the garbage chute. Puts Chucky down the garbage chute. This fucking garbage chute, dude.
This garbage chute gets a lot of action.
Yeah. Like, if he would have just thrown the head out the window, this whole thing would have been complete. Like, just aim for the dumpster. Fucking aim for the dumpster. Chucky. So they take out the chip in his chest after he kills the boyfriend,
Yes.
and they didn't. I would dismember him. Like if he was killing, like I'd be like, well, this thing, I don't want this thing to ever come back to life. Like something might happen. I'm just gonna fucking take its head off. I'm gonna take its fucking arms off and everything. Just let him run around with his legs. What he's gonna do? Kick me to death?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But-
apparently he has like super fucking human strength anyway. He's a robot, but
Yeah. I'd take his legs off too.
yeah,
Shit, I'll just take his feet off.
yeah. Just take everything off this little bastard.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so they just rip out the core, I guess. It's like this.
Because it's fucking Iron Man.
Yeah, and then they throw the whole body away. I don't know if the guy that finds him in the dumpster has all of these parts. Does he work for Caslin? I don't know.
He
like
somehow got the core. Because, like,
he has
he
all
gets
this. He has all this Caslin stuff in his basement, where he's watching like the people who live in the building. He can watch Aubrey Plaza take showers. He can do all this stuff. He does a lot of masturbating like in that basement because he's watching these people who live in that vicinity take a shower and shit. Like he's fucking weird. Like he's
I thought- So earlier they were talking about how he's weird. I thought it was going to be like a... Like they were missing...
like he is a creep. He is a creep.
He is, yeah. I thought it was going to be one of those things where like, oh, he's weird, but he's actually... Kind of like the neighbor in Home Alone where everyone's like, oh, he's a killer. Oh, he's weird. He's actually just a normal guy. I thought that's what it was going to be.
I
but
feel
no,
like they treated the
weird.
cop in this movie so shittily. Like,
Yeah.
because he was a good dude who was just taking care of his mom. And everybody was like, fucking pig. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Narc.
he's just fucking taking care of his mom, and he just happens to be a detective. Like, I fully understand that cops fucking suck, but, like, this dude
Yeah,
was...
no. Fuck 12.
This dude was chill. Like, yeah, at one point he was like just looking out for everybody, and he even handcuffed Andy because he thought that Andy was the one actually killing people, including his mom. Like, because he was
She
on.
did not deserve to die. She was
No, dude, she was a very nice lady. Like, it pissed me off that she died, and then it's just because Chucky was like, "Oh, well, you can't have my best friend." Like, fuck you, you little robot piece of shit.
You
She
robo-dick.
was 70 years old. Like, she didn't look 70. She was like, there's no way that actress is 70 years old. No fucking way. What is that
So-
actress's name?
Yeah, I'm have to look it up. Doreen Childs.
But yeah, she was a very good addition to this movie. Her dying, she basically got into the Caslin equivalent to an Uber, and she got rammed into another car, and well, that wasn't all of the death, was it? She like, we were like, is this still going? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she got oh, she was in Dave. Huh. She got rammed into another car. So the car got taken control of by Chucky, and he's like driving around making her do donuts and shit. And he rams her into another car, turning off the airbags. And then he takes it one step further and just stabs her in the chest, like directly in the
Oh, lame.
Yeah. Whenever the detective Mike was looking, he pulled back the sheet. You could see the knife sticking out.
Yeah. Poor Doreen. God damn
I know,
it.
she didn't do anything to deserve.
I hated Pug. God damn it. I wish that kid died the entire movie. Fallon I didn't care much about. Like, she didn't really do anything in this movie that
No.
I was offended by or like upset with. She was just kind of there. Except for like when she was like threatening the black kid that was the bully. Like, he was like, she would like what are you gonna do? And she'd like aggressively chew her gum. Like that.
I'm sorry.
Is like, does that make you tough by chewing your gum and smacking your mouth? Because I don't think it fucking does.
I don't know, I was pretty intimidated. I was scared.
It was terrifying.
I was terrified. Dude,
Yeah.
it's so loud. No one does that.
Yeah, it's like nobody fucking does. I guess people do that. They like try to if they're gonna be in a situation like that, they try to use something as a tactic to try to get you away from like actually fighting them or something. But like people tend to do weird shit like that. Where like
Yeah.
they're chewing on their gum or something. Like it doesn't do anything. Like.
No, you just look like a tool when you do it.
Yeah. So. Oh, the table saw kill. Now.
Yeah, that's where we were, yeah.
Well, Doreen happens after the table saw kill. But the table saw kill was this, like, creepy bastard who, like we said, watches people shower and shit. So he deserved to die. But he. It was such a bullshit kill because, like, okay, so there's two things in this specific kill that are like, why the fuck did you not just do this, or why the fuck does that? How does that even work? So he like grabs onto. First of all, Chucky's like slashing his legs and arms and shit with a knife, and he's not going down. He eventually like jumps on and grabs the pipe that like runs the hot water. So Chucky turns that shit up to like 125 degrees and starts running a fucking a saw, like a table saw. So he's like holding onto this pipe, and down below there's a table saw. He could just shift his weight to where, because it's not that big. Like, yeah, granted, you're holding on to a pipe. That shit ain't hot yet. So, you can just, like, shift your weight to where you're not going to land on that table saw and land on the fucking ground. And then you can punt this little bastard.
Yeah, like, the second it starts getting hotter, and you can tell it's starting to get hotter, just, like, kind of... Honestly, he could have just, like, put toes down and then tiptoed back onto the table saw.
Yeah.
And then try to safely get off of it. But he's just like,
And then it cuts, like, his foot in half.
Yeah, like it cuts his foot, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, and then he ends up the pipe is too hot for him to grab because he just keeps holding it like an idiot. He's just fucking holding this shit, and then it gets too hot, and then he eventually lets go, and then he gets sawed in half.
He
like,
falls groin first.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
He does get stabbed in the dick, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets his nuts chopped off. Like you just see it fall out of his underwear. He's like, ah.
Oh, you actually see them?
Yeah, you didn't see it. Like so, he gets his leg sliced, and then there's a quick cut where he's just like you see Chucky do a quick cut. It's fucking nuts. You just see it like fucking fall out of his underwear.
I didn't know it. They like plopped down. I thought like it was just like a cut. Like he stabs upwards, and then I didn't know that nuts actually flew out of his pants.
Yeah.
That's great. I didn't know that. Movie saved. Never mind. I'm just kidding because this movie sucks dick. But I wish Pug died.
Yeah.
So badly.
I thought he was going to.
Because he was just like this annoying character who didn't serve any purpose, but going like he always had this like really stupid look on his face while he was laughing. He was like he was just showing so much teeth, like and like they were laughing at Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Like that's not a movie to really laugh at. But all right.
No, I mean, like, I understand, like, laughing at terrible horror scenes, but I mean, that's a good movie.
Yeah. Let's see.
It just shows that Pug is just a fucking crazy fucking douchebag.
Yeah, the second one wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still like serviceable. And that's like the introduction to the whole family. Like, so it's like, I don't know. It's like it's a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
It's not a movie to go like that's
Yeah.
like there.
And then Andy's like chiming in like, "Ah, it's so stupid."
Yeah.
I think Sean made the joke like, "Oh, look, an actual good horror film in this."
Yeah.
piece of shit horror film.
And then like there's a fucking moment. Well, it's all out of order anyway when they're watching it, like the movie itself.
Yeah.
There's like a sequence in it where it's like they're holding the girl down, and they're like, "This is the best killer." Oh, that might have been the first one. That might have been the first one, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. They're like, "This is the best killer in all of all time," and then it's just like this really old man in their family, and he has like this hammer, and he just goes, like very very lightly hits her. Because he doesn't have it in him anymore. That might have been the first one. I can't remember which Texas Chainsaw Massacre that was. Yeah. And then they ended up just like... But in the first, like, I don't know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the whole series, well, there's definitely installments of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that aren't good, just like this. Like any of the reboots or remakes, like the newest reboot, we watched it. Me and my girlfriend watched it, and we were laughing maniacally at that because it sucked ass. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is pretty fucking brutal.
Let's say if it's like a bad horror movie, I understand that, but I think they were just laughing because it's an old horror movie.
That could be, and that's just the way people think of like older horror. They're like, "Oh, this looks like shit." Yeah, because it was before your fucking time, idiot. It still holds up. Some movies don't, but pretty sure Texas Chainsaw Massacre still fucking holds up because it looks like a gritty like snuff film.
Yeah.
But yeah, this little mouth breathing piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck Pug. All my homies hate Pug.
All my homies hate Pug. Fuck that little piece of shit. I just hate the way he laughed. And then, like, he would always walk and run in scenes that were, like... He was overacting everything, dude. He was, like, I think I made this joke, too. He went to the Jim Carrey school of overacting. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It was bad. Like, okay, Jim Carrey is good in certain things. His comedy, not a fan. Not a fucking fan. I don't think his comedy is good. I think he overacts, and I think that it's just too He tries to be a Looney Tunes character in real life. Doesn't work for me.
I'm not a huge fan of Jim Carrey, but I've got like, let me try to look him up because there's some Jim Carrey movies. He's no Adam Sandler where he can act in like a. Oh no, I take that back because Spotless. What was it?
No. Jim Carrey is great in dramatic roles.
Yeah, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That was fantastic.
Him and Adam Sandler are both really good in dramatic roles. So yeah, Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind. Man on the Moon was a great movie.
Man on the Moon was really good.
Where he plays Andy Kaufman.
I Love You, Philip Morris wasn't bad. I don't remember it too much, so I'm not going to say it's like a great movie.
Right. Is that him and Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's like a con man where he gets hurt to sue people.
Right, okay.
And then
Right.
end up falling in
Insurance
love
so insurance fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then so Adam Sandler, we've already spoke about his comedy or his dramatic roles and how we appreciate those. Like Uncut Gems is like the best movie he's ever fucking made, but nobody takes it seriously because he's a shitty comedic actor. Except for not Billy Madison, but
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore is his best comedic role, and I will fight anybody if they say otherwise. Because Happy Gilmore's fantastic. Billy Madison.
Truman Show was also really good.
Yeah, with Jim Carrey. Yeah. Truman Show is insanely good. I don't think that's a comedy. I think that's like a drama. That's like, holy shit, what is happening?
It's like what does it say? I think it's like a dramatic comedy or like a dark comedy.
Yeah, it's depressing. Like
Comedy drama, yeah.
Yeah. Truman Show is really good. So, I agree with the dramatic roles for Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler. There's great comedians out there who make great comedy movies. Neither one of them are... They're known for comedy, that's the thing, but they suck at it.
I like classic Jim Carrey movies, like just because of
like Liar Liar, maybe? Or,
Liar Liar, The Mask, just
I like
nostalgia.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty is good.
I think Bruce Almighty is good. Liar.
I always watch How the Grinch Stole Christmas every Christmas.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I always just thought he was very gimmicky. Like
he is,
and he would always like make movies that are based on a very specific gimmick, like Yes Man and Liar Liar. They may have been decades apart, but they were very gimmicky. It was like you have to say yes to everything you get fucking asked, and he's like, okay, that's a movie. And then we got Zoe Deschanel because people thought that she was, like, good.
The hottest thing since toast.
She was good. Okay, she's good in, like, she's good in, what is the, I'm not going to say New Girl because I didn't watch that. What is it? Fuck. It's got Mos Def in it. I can't remember it. It's
are you talking about Hitchhiker's Guide?
Yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide. That's it.
I love that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Zoe Deschanel's in Hitchhiker. I don't know why I couldn't think of it, but here we are.
It's I gotcha. It's just fucking like it's a fucking word salad of a title.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But I can remember fucking Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen and Alan Rickman. That's a fucking word salad right there.
I forgot about Galaxy Quest.
I hope we get it for the podcast next.
I hope so too. I really hope so too. Because I haven't watched that in so fucking long.
Yeah.
It's got Sigourney Weaver in it too.
Oh
yeah, Sam Rockwell's in it.
Oh, he's so good too.
I love Sam Rockwell.
He's in 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I love that fucking movie.
He did, what was it? He's really good in Green Mile.
Yeah, that's true.
Seven Psychopaths. That was a good one.
Oh, okay. Good
that
shit,
one kind of
good
flew
shit.
under the radar.
It did.
But I really liked him in that one too.
Sam Rockwell's just a good fucking actor, yeah.
He did this movie so long. Choke.
I don't know what that is.
So he is a sex addicted con man paying for his mother's hospital bills by playing on the sympathies of those who rescue him from choking to death. It's by this, I'm pretty sure by the same people or same guy who wrote Fight Club.
Huh.
It's a good movie. It's really under the radar Sam Rockwell movie, but it's good. Definitely worth a watch.
I'll have to check that out.
I watched it one day and I was like, it's not like his best movie. I'm not gonna like try to hype it up for you, but it's a good one. It's a good one for sure.
For sure. Well, I like Sam Rockwell, but this movie ends it ends in a store like the original Child's Play, but there's a difference. Aubrey Plaza's being hung. So first of all, this is like the funniest scene. It made me laugh out loud. Like in real life. Like I laughed really hard at this. This guy is in this what do they call them? It's not good guy. They're not good guy dolls in this. They're buddies. They're buddy dolls. So
BUDDI.
he's wearing this like buddy suit, and he walks out. He's like, "Hey kids!" And he's already been stabbed in the throat. So he's like, and he takes out the helmet and it sprays onto this little girl's face.
And he knew it was coming too. I thought he was just gonna fall over and go and like spit out some blood, but no, it fucking went a step above, and he's like,
It's
and then he
like a geyser into her face.
So he's like laying there and he's bleeding profusely from his neck, and the cop is like telling him like put some pressure on it, like we'll get through this. And then Chucky takes over the store, and these drones with razor blades on their blades like sit there menacingly. And as this guy's standing up, a fucking drone comes up and slices his neck, and he's like, it's just like, this guy can't get a fucking break.
Yeah. Like the drone's just like, he's like, ah. they like duck out of the way for it to hit him. Yeah. It's just this whole thing turns into a cartoon. I love it. So like Andy's handcuffed to this cart because his mom and the detective handcuff him to the cart, and is like, "You're not going anywhere,
you little murderer."
He's like, Chucky's trying to kill everybody. Chucky's doing it. Kind of like how the first movie was, and nobody believed him. But at least in the first one, it was a cute kid and not some teenage little asshole. So he's just like, and they weren't like, "Oh, and Andy, you're a bad kid. They just thought he was lying the whole time, like, because he was a little kid. Like in the original, they're like, "Oh, he's just a little liar," but he's adorable. So,
oh, you little scamp.
Yeah, but then they get into the toy store, and then some real shit happens, and then you're like, then the mom's like, when the mom in the original, when she realizes that Chucky doesn't have batteries. That's a brilliant scene in horror where like, so she like picks up Chucky, lifts up his like little battery pouch. I don't know what it's called. She lifts it up and he doesn't have batteries, so she fucking chucks him. She's like, "Whoa, shit!" Like that's a good scene. There's nothing like this in the remake, or. Is this even a remake? I don't think it's I think it's like a reboot.
Reimagining.
But it failed miserably. And that's why we have a Chucky series, because Mancini wanted to make something that actually was good again, because like we
ruined it.
Well, yeah, exactly. People were like, "Hey, let's make a Child's Play movie and let's modernize it, and let's try to like captivate audience." No, just watch the original. Like watch Child's Play 1 through 4. You can watch Bride of Chucky, skip Seed of Chucky unless you really want to watch it, and then watch Cult. I think Cult's the last one. Curse and Cult of Chucky are both really good. And then there's a series. You can skip Seed of Chucky. That is really the only one to skip. Which is insane. Out of all of the movies in this intellectual property, with Don Mancini and Brad Dourif and all these amazing cast members who've worked on it throughout the entirety of its existence, only one movie, well, I guess two technically, but this Child's Play 2019 is not a part of it. It's not canon. It's not a part of the lore. It's a pile of shit that they thought they can get away with. It's not canon. It's not worth watching. It's a piece of shit. And
I wouldn't either.
And I'm a huge fan of the Child's Play franchise, and this wasn't it. This wasn't good. Like they go and the ending, they end in a grocery store, not a toy store, a grocery store that Aubrey Plaza works in. I think. Well, no, because Andy's mom works for like a business firm or something. Like she works like I think she's like a secretary to a lawyer or something. I can't remember, but she's pretty well off. She's doing well, especially in the '80s. That's a pretty good job. But it's like this movie. Aubrey Plaza works in that grocery store, and she can afford a nice ass fucking house. I don't fucking think so.
No, unless her boyfriend was helping pay for it, but I mean that was. Who knows? He's got a whole family, so like, who knows?
And they try to throw in that Andy's deaf now, but this motherfucker can hear. This motherfucker hears exceptionally well, even without the hearing aid in. This motherfucker is hearing everything. So why don't and that also adds to the financial instability. Like, how the fuck are you paying for this house and also paying for your fucking son's care as a deaf person? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm surprised he doesn't know any sign language either.
Yeah, like none of that is even. Oh, he has a hearing aid. That's all you're gonna know about him being deaf. That's literally it. Imagine
don't they have 2 hearing aids if they're like completely deaf.
I don't think so. I think they just have the one because they can like feel the vibrations and they can like it's like a frequency thing. If they had 2, it'd probably really hurt their like head. Like, the one is like a frequency thing. They can, like, pick up on certain things. Like, just imagine if, like, A Quiet Place was, like... Because, like, a part of A Quiet Place is that the girl is deaf. So she's pretty silent anyway. But, like, everybody's, like, very quiet. And, like, obviously, because, like, because the monsters in A Quiet Place, they go based on sound. That movie's good. So it's just like, imagine if she could just hear everything. Like, imagine that. Like, they put a fucking hearing aid on this kid for no goddamn reason, essentially. That's something that bothers me about this movie, other than the fact that it's a Child's Play movie that doesn't do anything that Child's Play is supposed to do. Like, Child's Play is a movie about a serial killer who transfers his soul into the body of a doll. This is a movie about robots.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better if they like still stuck with the story, but just made it more modern. I think it would have been a lot better.
I don't even know how they would do that. Like,
well, if they just got like if they just kept the same story, like serial killer puts his soul into a toy, but made it more modern to where it's like they could still have the smart homes and everything. I'm not saying it would have been a good movie. It would have been better though. They could have just if they were just stuck with the main story instead of adding all this other shit and try to make it different and make it stand out. I think when people do that, they take the name and then like everything. And then they try to add their own spin on it, but still keep it the same, is whenever it gets royally shitted on.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, but she's getting hung by this rope. Aubrey Plaza's getting hung by this rope. And this is where we figure out that, or at least the adults figure out, like, oh shit, it was the doll. Kind of like how in the original this happens. We're like, oh shit, it was the doll. But there's a better reveal on that. I've already told you about the reveal in the other one, the original. But this one, the very end, the adults figure this out. The kids already knew it was the doll after the cat got fucking killed. And then the boyfriend got killed. And they were like, oh shit, this is... And these kids... By the way, the kid just meets these other kids. Like, they're not fucking friends for real. They just met, which is ridiculous. Like, and they're like, "Oh, hey, kids, I just met. Come look at this face that my evil doll just showed me." Like, he puts this fucking skin face in his bedroom. Is like, "Guys, come check this out." Who does that? Who does that?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. And they were. Instead of immediately being like, we're not gonna hang out with you, and actually we're gonna tell the cops.
Yeah, they're like,
it
must have been the doll.
Like, that's right. Oh god, The doll is creepy. It must have killed.
Yeah. It was like, this also killed my cat, too. Like, I'm pretty sure you did that shit, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie's fucking stupid.
Yeah. He eventually cuts, so Andy cuts his mom free, and the detective shoots Chucky, and then Andy grabs the knife and stabs the core, and then it's basically over at that point.
He stabs the core, and then I knew they were gonna do this. They do this in all terrible horror movies. He stabs the core, and he's like sitting there Chucky's trying to sing this song, and then he keeps singing it, and then there's a scene with some terrible CGI where he jumps through the air and he's got the knife in his hand, and then the detective shoots him midair.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't say it's done in horrible horror movies. It's just done in horror, where like, and they've made a reference to it in other horror movies like Cabin in the Woods or like Zombieland, where they're like, you have to double tap that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's not, and Scream is like the originator of being like, hey, we're self-aware, shoot that motherfucker twice.
Yeah.
But they never do. But yeah, so they didn't double tap Chucky, and they should have, but they didn't. And then eventually the sheriff had to shoot Chucky midair, so it did stab the shit out of Andy. So, and that's
Aubrey Plaza rips off his head, and then they all take turns. All the kids take turns just beating the shit out of it and destroying it.
yeah. And does anything happen after that? I don't even fucking remember.
They allude to a second one by showing the dolls, and then it goes black, and then you see a little red from the eyes for a second.
Yeah. This movie's. I hope this movie never gets a sequel. I don't. It did well though. It made $35 million. I don't know if that's good enough for there to be a sequel. It's not good. Oh, yeah, canceled sequel. There it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for me, I was just trying to make this best movie possible. For me, this was just trying to make this the best movie possible, like never foreshadowing any detailed plan of where you want to go as a franchise. But yeah, for me, I think I love the Buddy Bear concept. What? Said he would love to make a sequel, but due to Don Mancini creating the Chucky television series, it was unlikely. Thank you, Mancini, for I keep switching them. I say Mancini. Pretty sure it's Mancini. But thank you, the original creator of the intellectual property decided to create the Chucky series on USA, and it's good, and that's why they didn't want to make a sequel for this abomination. So,
yeah, thank God.
Absolutely. And that's Child's Play 2019. It's a piece of shit.
Oh my God. I'm scrolling through the Child's Play 2019 sequel and it says Child Play 2019 deserves a sequel.
What?
It's Reddit. It's a.
No, it doesn't.
It's not.
It doesn't. It's bad. Don't do that.
I want to see what people say.
What would you give this movie if you were to?
The first one's absolutely nah. Not at all.
I think this might be my first 0 out of 10. Is that possible? Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's Flower. Flower's a better movie than this pile of shit. This is awful.
Lady Chatterley's Lover's better than this.
Yeah, it's so bad. I don't know if you're gonna give it a 0, but I'm definitely giving it a fucking 0.
I don't want to give it a 1.
If we can give it a 10, we can give it a 0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is probably the worst movie I've seen in a very long time. I feel like I've seen some bad things in my life, but I was actually offended that this was bad, like this bad. And maybe that's my own bias that I love the Child's Play the Child's Play franchise a lot, that I'm offended by this. It hurts me.
I did see. You know me with horror movies. I'm not big on them. I'm very particular. They have to be a certain subgenre in a certain type of way.
Yeah.
I feel like my favorite kind of horror is always going to be like Lovecraftian, where it's like unseen horror or like
Right.
sci-fi horror. But yeah, this was not even like coming from somebody who didn't get into the Child's Play franchise. I see this as also a disservice to Child's Play.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's offensive. It's offensive that they thought that this was okay.
And that to think that they would be okay to make a sequel.
Yeah. So thank you to the original creator for going, I'm going to make a series instead of this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this to see a sequel.
Honestly, yeah, good on him for reviving the franchise name. Hopefully people will just like forget about this one altogether.
Yeah, I hope so. But with a podcast existing where we talk about it in episode 16, I don't know. Hopefully nobody stumbles upon it. Oh, I want people to stumble upon this episode, but hopefully nobody stumbles upon this movie in the future and goes,
Yeah.
This is what Child's Play is. That's garbage. Watch the '88 version. I'm pretty sure the '88 version stands the test of time. If anybody mentions Child's Play, the rest of the Child's Play movies are going to show up because they are the better ones. At least I would hope so. I don't know. Child's Play 4 wasn't great, and neither was Seed of Chucky. I think Child's Play 4 is the one where they're in the military, or at least the boot camp. There's
Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Cult of Chucky.
There's charm to that one. But are you ready to go ahead and randomize and see what we're going to be looking at next?
Yep. I've been itching for it.
Oh, me too. Me too. And 3, 2, 1. Uncharted. It's the Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. We're gonna watch Uncharted.
I can already say right now, terrible casting on them too. First off, Nathan Drake is older. He's about a little bit younger than Mark Wahlberg's age. Mark Wahlberg should have been Nathan Drake. And then they should have got somebody old for Victor Sullivan. I've played the games. I know he's supposed to be like... Nathan Drake is supposed to be like almost 30.
This is gonna be like you or me with Child's Play, but it's gonna be the opposite. Where like you've played the game, so you're gonna be like, God damn it, fucking bullshit. I think I've actually.
I might.
I think me and MK have actually watched Uncharted. I don't know how I feel about it. We will talk about it next week, or well, I guess it's not next. Well, we're gonna release this to YouTube on Tuesday, so hopefully people will watch that who are here and give us some views because we need those. But yeah, so we're going to be watching Uncharted next. And it's an action movie. I don't think we've gotten very many like action movies. So that's pretty cool.
I don't think so. We've mainly gotten horror movies.
Yeah, which is great, but like the only good one was The Ritual. Oh no. In the Tall Grass. In the Tall Grass was good.
Yeah.
That was our champion. That was our champion last season.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guarantee, I don't think this is probably gonna be like number 5. Probably gonna be middle of the road kind of movie.
Oh, Uncharted?
But yeah.
Child's Play is gonna be Child's Play
last.
That's very last easily. We're giving
We
you
should
guys
also give awards at like raspberries almost.
Oh my god.
Like,
what if we have like a losers bracket?
yeah. I would be down for that. Like a losers like this is the top 10 of the best that we've watched, and this is the top 10 of the worst that we've watched.
Yeah. So what was number 1 or what was number 10 for the last I think I still.
Is either I think it was Baby Geniuses.
I don't think it was Baby Genius. Was it? I think it was. I think it was.
Either Baby Geniuses or it was.
It was Baby Geniuses. Baby Geniuses was the worst movie of last. Oh my god. Baby bunting. And then it was Kazam. So it would be Baby Geniuses versus Child's Play. At least for right now. Because I, unless we get something way worse than Child's Play.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be anything worse than this. At least for this season.
It'll be really, really hard to get a really bad movie worse than this, but I mean, there's a lot of movies out there.
Yeah. I don't even think like Trainwreck is this bad.
Oh god.
I don't think anything with Amy Schumer is this bad.
No. I would much rather watch Trainwreck over this Trainwreck.
Yeah. So I think we've already given you guys a sneak peek of what our championship episode is going to look like. It's either because like our worst episode, the worst movie we watched was Child's Play, and I think the best movie we watched this season so far is either between American Hustle or The Ritual.
Yeah. And that's
tough.
really hard. Yeah. Because American Hustle is really good.
And The Ritual is one of my favorite. Well, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and Joe loved it. So
I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
But we are watching Uncharted next, and if you're watching on the stream, thank you so much. If you plan to watch us on YouTube, which I would hope, because that is where we kind of need the views. Don't really give too much of a shit on stream. We would rather just have you guys check it out on YouTube, even if you're just like fast forwarding through it. Just get that shit in there.
Skip right to the end.
Well, I fast forward to the end, but like, make sure it's like 1.5. Even if you've already heard it, just give us the view, man. And like it and comment on it and be like, I was there for the live taping. I was there. And subscribe. Fear and Broathing. And then you can also follow us on Twitter. We have either at Laser Lamone, which is my Twitter, or at Fear and Bro Pod is the Twitter. And then you can email us for questions. And if you want to be a guest, you can do that as well. We just need to, because we want to have anybody, like fucking anyone, like
please for the love of God, somebody join.
We want the whole world to be a guest at some point, but it's just been us. It's just been us this whole time, and that's not bad. Like, I like having conversations with Joe. So
I like having conversations with Sean.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day, and bye.
Bye.